You want to finish there? Okay, nice job. Good. So, do you play this standing up when you're auditioning?
Usually play sitting down.
Sitting down. You putting the bell between your knees purposefully?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Because it actually does make you be in your seat flat.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know oftentimes it kind of brings them down just enough, but I think yours are probably pretty good without that.
Okay.
And so you're just, and it sort of dulls the sound a little bit too. So I mean, and it's still quite pronounced when I'm further away from you too. So that might be something that that a panel would notice. So your tempo and your rhythm is very good, and of course that's like number one prerequisite, right, to get advanced in an audition for this, right? But I mean, I think especially with bigger jobs, I think what they're, the smaller jobs, I think, regional orchestras and small regional orchestras, they're sort of, they get preoccupied with things like rhythm and tempo and dynamic contrast and all those kinds of things. And so, they're just kind of like sitting there just tapping and all that kind of stuff that drives you crazy, right? Well, you've got them beat on that. You don't need to worry about that stuff. But with the bigger groups, I think that they're looking for something in addition to those things that's going to turn them on. And they've listened to a dozen versions of Mozart, well, more than a dozen, 10 scores of Mozart's, right? And everybody has their own way that they like it, right? But to me, it's almost like the second worst solution to the Mozart for an audition is to play it in stylistically so that somebody doesn't like it and it's not there. But the worst thing to do is to not style it, is to not play it your way. And to me, it's really safe, And I know that you've got to walk that balance, and your teacher I'm sure has talked to you about this, you've got to sort of walk that balance between being safe and being interesting. Yeah? You could definitely err a little bit more on the interesting side on the Mozart, and I'll bet you have that sort of in you. So now that you've worked so hard on getting sort of all of the 16th notes even, and getting your dynamics the way you want them, can you try just that opening again? And I want you to play it like this is your concerto, and you're in front of an orchestra, and you really want to show people that this is like a really great version of the Mozart. For me, I kind of think that your last staccato, and I know everybody kind of goes crazy over these last notes of the first gesture, but they almost just seem a little too planned to me, and I wonder if you can just go to the A and then just, I don't know. Just sort of let them go a little bit. They seem to... getting those two notes to sound exactly the same as each other and be perfect in shape and in size and length, and too much. So it's not only, I think, that you need to think more about the music, but I think you actually may have started to teach yourself to be less musical in certain places. Right? Just be really careful about that, as you move forward. Now, what's your job here? Accompaniment, right? Well, accompaniment sort of implies, harmonic rhythmic support, but you're more than that. In fact, you're not harmonic rhythmic support at all. You're purely decorative, right? Okay. So here, why don't you play the tune? to dance around your tune a little bit, right? So can you try that with mine?
Yeah.
So you play the accompaniment, the decoration? So when you get to the top of that scale, it can be more overt, I think, than you're doing it. I think, again, it's sort of, we get tied up in making it sort of this sort of conservative thing, and we think we sound German when we play it, and I think your role is more important, right? Let's do that one more time. So maybe try to be a little bit more flamboyant than you think is appropriate.
Okay.
So you play the decoration. Good. Now play it that way on your own without me. Exactly the way you play it, right? It's exactly the way you might want to play it, should I say, if you were accompanying the orchestra as they play the tune. Yeah, good. And then here, what is that about? This phrase. What's it doing?
Don't exactly know what you're asking.
Well, everything has a job, right, in the music, and sort of let's just speak purely from a sort of
like coda, sort of.
Well, speaking purely from a dramatic point of view, right? Is it more operatic? Is it more demonstrative, virtuosic? Is it more lyrical? Which one is it for you?
It's kind of all of it, actually, but I think it's more kind of operatic that makes the virtuosity.
Yeah, yeah. So it's dramatic and it's virtuosic, right? So you might want to play a fairly short articulation there. Let's just hear you play that. Good, that's really great. Now, is this one different or the same?
It's a little bit lighter.
Yeah. Okay, let me hear that one. Yeah, I wonder if you could make this flow a little bit more. See, for me, I'd be more tempted to play the articulation shorter there, having been really kind of punchy and demonstrative in the and then here. With emphasis more on the shape, you know? Yeah, that's better. Try even longer. I kind of like that better. Yeah. And you know, it just shows that you have, you know, more than one or two types of staccato. And that you're applying them not just on a whim, but according to what you want from the music, you know? Do you want to just do a quick minute? We're out of time?
Kind of. It's like almost 12 minutes at this point.
Yeah. All right. So we better finish there. So, you know, it's just medicine anyway, right? You can play that a dozen times for people. Sure. Great. So it sounds great that, you know, you can do all those things. I think maybe, you know, you're in that groove, right? And it's not even that it's the wrong groove to be in, but you're in the groove where you want to win like a regional job. Where I think you want to be in the groove where you're showing people how much of a fabulous musician you are, as well as obviously clearly